guys, what's up? It's your friendly neighborhood Hex again, and I have something awesome for you today. We're gonna be looking at some cherry trees. If I can look at them, there we go. We're gonna be looking at some cherry trees. So what I've done here is I made 4 different sizes, 4 different types. I actually made these 3 first, and these are copies of my originals, because what I'm going to teach you today is something really awesome. It's not necessarily how to build these block for block, but it's how to make your own and get the proportions right so that they look tree-like. So here we go, here we go, here we go. So there's a couple things that I want you to understand before we get started. Number 1 is that I used pink and purple blocks. Glass blocks. You don't have to do that. You can use whatever colors you want. You could use like the pink and white, or you could do, use, what do you call it? Wool, like pink wool, and make that style of tree. This tutorial is more about the proportions of the tree and how to get those correct. And then this one over here is a little bit more of a weeping kind of tree, like maybe they call that a sakura tree. I'm not sure. I'm not like the best tree person in the world, but you can kind of just see the designs real quick. I'll just kind of pass by them, and then we'll get on with taking a look at the proportions of these things. Okay, so the proportions of them are really quite cool, and I'm really proud of this. Basically, this is how it works. It's a little bit mathematical, but what I've got here is I've got a design right here, and then you can see sort of similar designs right there. These blocks here, the red, blue, and yellow, are just simply to explain the proportion, and this right here is just kind of an example of the tree in a vertical standpoint, and then we'll look at the horizontal in just a little bit. Okay, so the way that this works is that it follows the law of thirds, and if you've never heard of the law of thirds, all it is we're just using, we're cutting the tree into 3 equal sections, and then 2 of those sections are going to be the upper portion of the tree. So these glass blocks represent the canopy of the tree, or like where the leaves are, and then the bottom portion, the bottom third, is the trunk. Okay, so once again, we've got trunk right here. So the red is going to be just trunk, the blue is trunk and the leaves, and then the top is just leaves. And that's how I made all of these trees. Actually, I came up with this proportion after I built these, and they all fit it perfectly somehow. I don't know how that worked out. But anyways, I'm going to go through each one of these, and then I'm going to show you how the proportions work, and then we will build another tree that's maybe similar to that one. I'll show you how to actually use this idea to build it. Okay, so check it out. Here's the first one here. This is a smaller one. I built it out of these are just fence posts going up. So then if you look at, we'll look at it this way first. Notice that this one is divided into 2s. So another thing I didn't explain is that this one here, each third is 3 blocks tall. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So, and then to change the size of your tree, all you have to do is to change the size of each third. So this one is in 2s. So we've got 2, and then we have red, and that's our trunk. So we basically have 2 fence posts down there. Okay, then the blue is our trunk and some leaves. So you can see right here, if I line it up just perfectly, that you can see, okay, I've got leaves and trunk. And then notice that the trunk goes there. And then this trunk, I just gave a little detail coming up there, but basically the main trunk stops right there. And then notice that, the top of the tree goes all the way up to the top of the third. And then these 2 thirds, the blue and yellow, are all canopy. Now going sideways, to get the sideways proportion right, you do the exact same thing. So you have 1, 2, 3 thirds, and then another third minus 1. So in other words, I've got 2 blocks, 2 blocks, 2 blocks, and 1 block. Okay, and that'll be important in just a minute. All right, let's look at the next size up. So this one here I built on 3s, and it's floating off the ground because I adjusted the proportion of it because it looked funny. And then so like I should just put like a little bit of a something for it to sit on real quick, just so it's not floating off the ground. There we go. Okay, so now he's sitting up on a little thing, and then so would this be there? There we go. Okay, so this one here is in 3s, just like my example over there. So this one is 1, 2, 3 blocks for the trunk, 1, 2, 3 for the trunk in the canopy, and then the canopy 1, 2, 3. And notice that it fits it just perfectly, just like that. Sideways, we're gonna go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2. And on the sideways, there's no red section, blue section, yellow section. These are all just canopy going sideways. And then the last 2 are the thirds. So I got 3 minus 1 makes 2. I hope that's making sense. We get 3, 3, 3, and then 3 minus 1, like that. So this one here was 2, 2, 2, and then 2 minus 1. So basically, this one here would be 4, 4, 4, and then 3, because 3 would be This would be 3 minus 1. Okay, so speaking of this tree, we got 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one's a little bit bigger tree. Then we have trunk. 1, 2, 3. And on this one here, I did some detailing in the trunk, just kind of made it and spread it out a little bit. I recommend if you do a tree this size that you spread it out. So what I mean by it, all I did was I just kind of built some trunks going off in different directions like that. And so that's our 1, 2, 3, 4. That's our blue section, and then the yellow section of just leaves goes like that. And you can see this one fits it perfectly as well. This one here sideways, so we got 4, 4, 4, and 3 as I described earlier. Okay, so if you wanted to make an even bigger one, you could do 5s. You could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it'd be 5, 5, 5, 4 instead of 4, 4, 4, 3, or you could do 3, 3, 3, 2, or 2, 2, 2, 1. I hope I'm describing that so that you guys are getting what I'm doing as far as mathematically. Okay. This one here I built actually, so I built these trees and then I figured out the ratio and then I used that ratio to build this one, and you can see this is another 3, like it's got each third is 3, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, and it's this one here, which is our sakura tree over there. Okay, very good. Now let's go ahead and make another one of these. It's not going to be exactly the same as this one, but it's going to be the same size with the 3, 3, and 3 like that. I would build the bigger one, but it would just make the tutorial longer, and I think you kind of get how to do that. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to go into my inventory and we're going to get out some different colored blocks. So going upwards, we're going to do 1, 2, 3. And if you're doing this in survival mode, this is going to be great for survival mode because you don't have to like float around your tree and be like, oh, I need a little bit more there, a little bit less there, because that's impossible in survival mode to do that. You can't like float around your tree without ridiculous amounts of scaffolding. So what you would want to do is you'd want to just take out 3 different types of blocks to get this proportion right. It doesn't have to be colored concrete. I'm just using colored concrete here to show you. So I would actually build like this little tower in survival mode, and then maybe I'd use like, you know, smooth stone, cobblestone, and then stone bricks or something. I don't know, whatever I had on hand. Doesn't really matter because you're going to tear this down. It's not like this is part of the tree. You're going to tear this down afterwards. I hope that's clear. All right, and then going this way, we'll go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then where'd my orange go? I swear I pulled out some orange. Maybe I didn't. 1, 2. There we go. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to take out our trunk. I'm using dark oak wood, but like seriously, you can make your tree out of anything that you feel like. You could make a stone tree. I don't know why you'd want to. You could use anything. I'm just using dark oak and some glass, but you could use whatever colors you like in your tree. All right, so first you're going to go ahead and you're going to build your trunk, and I'm going to do a more straight trunk, I think. So let's go 1, 2, and 3. So that's our first layer, so it's 3 tall, and then you know what we're going to do? Let's find the middle of this thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to build it on this plane right here. Right here. I'm going to build it back a little bit just so that I'm out of the way of these things and I don't run into them. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3. And then you can just do a little detail around it. Like I think I'm going to put 1 like there, and maybe 1 like that, and maybe 1 there like that. Just kind of give it a little detail. Okay, and then next what you're going to do is you're going to go up 3 more. Like that. So this is the blue section, and then on these 3, that's where your leaves are going to go. Okay, and then you could start. Let's start in the middle of that section. So this we've got 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to go down 1 to start my leaves. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come out the necessary distance to get to there. Okay, so I'm there, and so how many was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the nice thing about it is it's kind of a little pattern now. Okay, so next what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of turn this roughly into a circle. Now, if you turn it into a perfect circle, that's totally fine. But if you kind of make it like a rough circle, then that's going to be a little bit better because it's going to be a little bit more natural. And here's where the creativity part comes in. You can just kind of, you know, put these blocks in wherever you want to put them, maybe like that, kind of a little bit more, maybe like that on this part. But notice I'm staying within my pattern here, my little law of thirds thing. And then maybe we'll go like this, like that, like that, like that, and like that. And if you're using glass, the next thing you're going to do is you're just going to break some of these. Okay, that's what I'm kind of doing. You can kind of see that I'm sort of breaking a few of them. You want to break them out like this. And the reason that you want to do that, actually we need one there and one there. The reason you want to do that is because with most texture packs, if I'm looking at these two glass things right here, see how I can see, like I can't see the inner pane there. But then if I'm looking there, I can see this pane and that pane. So when you break the little glass blocks, what it does is it makes it so you can see more of the different sides of the panes on the cubes, and then you can, it looks like there's leaves in there rather than just like sort of this clear glass dome thing. There we go. Okay, so you would do something like that. And on survival, that wouldn't be too bad because you're like sort of standing in here. All right, and then you're just going to do another layer. So another layer, another layer like this. So you can just kind of spam on here. And then what you want to do is you want to make it so that like you're sort of like that, so that you're not, so you don't want like tubes going up. Like you don't want to do this, right? Because then you can see there's like a tube right there. So what I want to do is I'd rather do it like that so that it's not tube shaped. And I'm just going to kind of spam them on top here and just break a few as I go. And you can also add in like some panes. And I've been kind of forgetting to add in some purple stained glass for like some variation in color. You can do some of that and put some of those in there. And you just kind of, you know, spam them in. Sweet. So we got our second layer done, and then we're going to do another layer. Now this layer you could bring in just a little bit. So I'm going to bring this layer in just a little bit. And then these panes, if you do these window panes like this, like what I'm doing, the stained glass panes, see how it's making these little crosses everywhere? That's going to add some extra leaf look to your tree. If I look at it to the side, you can see like there's more sort of facets in there as far as that. Okay, so then we're going to go to the next level, and then this level is going to be in a little bit more. So then, is this my top layer? Yeah, this should be my top layer. And then on the top layer, you can kind of not do that. You can seriously? Come on. There we go. You can kind of do something like this, and then maybe, you know, maybe a pane there, like that. Okay. So we generally have our tree, except we're missing one layer, and we're missing the layer that goes on the bottom, right here. So we're missing this blue layers because we need some. All right, so the next thing that we might want to do is just add a little bit more detail to it. So I'm just going to kind of go around and just put in some glass panes here and there, just to kind of give it a little bit more edge on the outside. And you want to avoid doing what I just did right there, making the sort of straight up and down ones. And then also what you can do on these edges is just kind of be like, oh, okay, well, it needs something there. And what I'm trying to avoid is like just like squares, making it look too blocky. Like that right there is a little bit too blocky to me. So I might do something like that. Like that. Just to kind of give it a look and feel like this right here, this is kind of too blocky. So I'm going to go like this. There. And yeah, that's not too bad. That's not too bad. Cool. All right. All right, this is looking pretty good. I need a little bit more blue down here. or purple, I guess this is. There we go. A little bit more purple. Do. Okay. Maybe a little bit more coming out this way. Yeah. There we are. So what I'm trying to do is make it a little bit more rounded, and especially this bottom layer, I don't think I did quite enough on. There we go. Because you kind of want to, like, on your top three, sort of make like almost like a half circle this way. Okay, so that's looking pretty good to me. The next thing that you might consider doing is putting in some extra branches down here, like this. So you might consider taking like some fence, and at least on this size of tree, and just kind of going out like this, in a little bit like that. And then you might have to replace some of these blocks if you're gonna stick it in there. I kind of like to do this like after I've built the tree. That's just kind of my preference, and it just seems to work better for me. And then what I did to build the Sakura type is I just kind of, you know, dragged a few of these down like this. Just kind of put some panes coming down like that. And I'm not super happy about my trunk, honestly. I'm really not. I kind of don't like this straight trunk right now. So another thing you could do is you could just break out your blocks there, and you can kind of maybe make a trunk that goes more, a little bit, has a little bit more character to it. Maybe something like that. And then we're going to kind of put some blocks there, there, and there. And then when you do this, I think it looks good to do a right side up one like that. Maybe that's a little too bulky. Something wrong with it. Maybe that's what's wrong with it. Maybe I need one of these. There we go. It's a little bit better. Okay. Yeah, I don't really like where this is. So this is, like I said, this is the creative part. So you get to be super creative and just do whatever you want as far as making like a trunk. That's kind of cool. No, it's not. No, it's not, Hex. That's not cool. What are you thinking of? What are you thinking? There. Yeah, that's what I was going for. Okay. So it's a little bit kind of snarled like that. And then there's your tree, and it fits the our proportion just nicely. See that? It fits just like that way. And because we did 11 this way, it should fix there. And then, yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this little tutorial. If you really liked it, go ahead and leave a like. And if you just absolutely loved it, maybe thinking about subscribing. Okay, well, thank you very much, and God bless.